This sub is horrible for your mental health. Serious. This is one of the most stressful times in recent memory for developers. The threat of layoffs looms everywhere and people are competing for a handful jobs. The last thing any of us need is to open Reddit and see post after post about how someone can't find a job, is doing bad at work, is being abused at work, or sounds like they are just suffering. I find it rare for a post here to contain hopeful or positive things. I suggest any of you that notice it having a negative impact on your mental health just unsubscribe. I'm not even on the job market and I find it bothers me seeing such negativity all the time. So yay. Just want to remind PPL that you can like, unsub and stuff. Think of your mental health. Plot twist. This sub has always been pretty bad for your mental health unless you are aiming to be a top 1 developer. Even in good times. You heard nothing but $200,000 starting fresh out of college. Or else you failed at life. Now in bad times, these same 1 developers are angry they can't get into FAANGMULASSHOLE. The reality. I mean the actual reality when you step out of this sub and Reddit in general is vastly different. If you have been browsing this sub consistently at least a few days per week for more than a month or 2, please take a break from it. My job is very stable and I am doing great. But I think the perception that the market is bad representative for the rest of us. Economy is all run on bullshit and perception. I can imagine how that would be the case if I didn't have a job. I just got a recruiter offer me a position at a major company giving me a pretty significant raise, as well as other benefits and bonuses on top of my already generous package. The interviews were easy and everything is great. That said, if I made a post about it, I'd just be bragging. Do you really think a post saying I am a new grad and just got a 200 KTC offer, yay, would land well? Wait until you discover Blind or Fishbowl. Reddit, and social media in general, is horrible for your mental health. Seriously. The internet always will attract extremes of like flexing and negativity. Part of the pseudo-anon culture. But there's that small community of people that genuinely want to help and share experiences that makes it worth it. It's up to the web surfer to navigate through the landscape at their own risk. That being said, there's good in this sub to motivate you, but yeah, just remember there's a lot of the industry that doesn't use Reddit and has no idea about what all this talk good or bad is. They just do their best and at some point that's all you have to do too. Is there not a bit of irony in this post? I find that people complaining is very draining and this post is just complaining about this sub. Like anywhere on this site there is good and bad. This sub is no different and most people are smart enough to walk away from something as silly as a subreddit if they really feel it is bad for their mental health. Congrats, you just learned how social media algos work. Or the other side of this board, hey RCS career questions im21. Just graduated. And this Bay Area startup is only offering 250 KTC. What's wrong with me? There are people who will give good decent advice, but they are downvoted for being negative. Move to ML and AI. There are a shit ton of jobs out there for devs. Yes, there have been layoffs and stuff which I've been directly affected by. But there is no shortage of work that needs doing. If you are just entering the SWE career, I really recommend looking for contract jobs as they are a great way to break into the field and get that first SWE title on your CV. They will also pay better than pretty much any other job you could start your career with. I went from $33K to $75K starting my first SWE contract job and then doubled my salary again after 2 years. Personally, I've found this sub very comforting. It's made me feel like I'm not alone during this crappy job search. No snark. But if I were unemployed right now, I'd be too busy LEET coding and studying system design to come on here. Focus on the positive and invest your energy into things that will improve your situation. Hiding from reality, which is extremely negative right now, is not great either. You can mute it. If you find this sub is horrible, try Blind App. Most people here are desperate college grads looking to break into the field. The stats show people with CS knowledge have better prospects than most other lines of work. A more grounded view on the industry would be forums catered toward mid-senior level people. I might be switching majors careers at this point cause I just can't handle it. The stress of being able to find a job is really killing me. I love programming, but all I see is doom and gloom, and my health has actually gone downhill after stressing about this for the past few months. Maybe stay off Reddit then. Not rocket science. You want to smoke opium? Look at the cult subs for GME, for example. Friendly neighborhood WLB advocate and coach here to help change this smile with a halo. IDK. I had a bit of a rough patch at work recently, not laid off, but team funding got cut. Had to market myself internally. And reading posts here felt unifying. I think there's comfort in knowing you're not alone. And in understanding that getting laid off, etc., isn't necessarily saying you're a bad engineer, but just a part of the field or work in general. Helps explain it a bit and take away some of that self-doubt. Of course. Totally agree, everyone should be aware of their mental state when consuming any media. Age-old medical advice holds true here: if it hurts, stop doing it. Personally, I think I'd feel worse if I came on here and saw people posting about being freshmen, getting $500,000 a year FAANGAMANGA whatever jobs, while I'm personally struggling and going through it. I think it's better to realize that this is affecting a lot of people and having unity through that. Going through shitty times is tough, but it's always better to go through shitty times with other people than alone, not wishing it on other people, but you know what I mean. About 2-3 of the advice on here is objectively bad advice anyways. Man up then. It's the reality for a lot of people right now. These people don't need to hear how it hurts your feelings right now when some of them are facing losing their visas, mortgage, or health benefits. The comments have helped me to gain perspective on the state of the market and the bias of this sub. I'm also very worried about the future. I've just done a year of apprenticeship. I've still got a second year to go, and I keep telling myself that I'll never be able to find a job in a year's time if my company doesn't take me on full time. Given the state of the market, it was horrible even before the downturn. Comparison is the theft of joy, and nothing takes the joy out of a stable and independent six-figure career full of creative problem-solving opportunities, like learning that you could be making triple that at another company. I dunno, the more I look at this sub and LinkedIn, the more thankful I am that I have my amazing job. That gratitude makes me have a better attitude at work and makes it much easier for dumb shit that doesn't really matter to roll off my back.